Another travel headache for flyers. Thousands of Delta airline passengers stranded with nowhere to go after more than 450 flights were canceled and thousands more delayed, all because of a power outage. Here now is Gary Leff, viewfromthewing.com writer. I feel like we're still missing a lot of details in this story. I mean, what do you think really happened?
Well, Melissa, we're not going to get all the details right away, and certainly Delta is appropriately focused on getting their operation back up to speed for all their passengers. We do know that it was a Delta issue. While they initially blamed a power outage, it was localized to Delta. In fact, Georgia Power put out a statement to make clear that it was Delta systems that were having their issue, that it wasn't something external to the airline. But these are very complicated systems that we're dealing with.
And, I mean, which makes me think that they would have many, many backups. I mean, the same way that so many buildings have backups. If the power goes down instantly, they have a backup system. You know, this also happened to Southwest Airlines, of course, as well. They canceled about 1,000 flights, it was, after a system outage 3 weeks ago. So it's not, this isn't the first time this has happened. Is that similar to you? And you know, it's kind of a big deal. You would think they would have more backup.
Well, and they do have backups, and all the major airlines do. And in fact, last July it happened to United, and last September to American. And so Delta was in some sense living on borrowed time with all the complicated systems that they're dealing with. When the systems go down, there's a tremendous number of systems that all have to talk to each other in order to get passengers checked in onto planes, and planes to have their flight plans and know how much fuel to carry. And they have to make sure that everything is 100% right. So when they bring things back, they also have to do a tremendous amount of testing to make sure that everything is proceeding safely.
Gary, you mentioned a lot of scary things in there. I mean, you were talking about that they have systems that make sure that there's enough fuel in the planes. We also heard stories about places where they were handwriting boarding passes to get people on and getting it moving, where they were pulling out dot matrix printers to try and print things. Immediately in this day and age, our mind is going to the thought, you know, what's going on here? Is there still safety involved? I mean, are they then allowing people on planes that shouldn't be? Is there a chance these systems were hacked? I mean, these are the kind of questions that nervous travelers have in this day and age. What about those issues?
Well, we can't really speak to any issues of hacking at this point, but we can certainly say that the aviation operation proceeded incredibly safely. That's part of why you do get the delay, because you make sure that everything is happening the way that it's supposed to. And there wasn't any issue with the aviation security system. They weren't checking anyone in for flights that hadn't been through the proper vetting in the background of the reservation system, and everyone that was on the planes had a reservation. All of the planes had their proper flight plans before they took off and had done their fuel calculations. So it takes several more hours than it would otherwise take just to make sure that everything is as safe as possible.
We'll see about the hacking later. I'm interested. Gary, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate a lot of good knowledge there.